Close.
As close as it goes.
Close as it gets. You saw the little thing I put there? You see that thing I bought?
Yeah.
It's good, huh?
Amazing.
Okay. Effectively, it is my birthday. That's when I have my
Yaakov, when's your birthday?
What? My birthday is 10th of the dark.
Yeah?
Wow, you the dark.
Coming up in 2 months.
By this time, everybody.
Understood.
Come on in, doctor.
What?
Doctor, how are you? What's your name? Doctor what?
Dr. Schmiel.
Dr. Shmuel, nice to meet you.
We have a lot of patience here for you, doctor.
I'm a mind reader. Watch this.
Oh,
You're
Schmuel.
from a place not exactly American.
Oh,
But your host was there.
Oh, man.
Cholent,
Cholent, poppers,
I
and we're
came
gonna
to
get the
the
poppers.
right place.
You definitely came to the right place.
Thank you. I live for
Where's
Cholent.
where's Moishi?
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Locked down. He's
Where's
still
the
under the weather.
welcome.
Welcome, Sean. How are
Just told me,
I
put up.
brought, my wife, when I told her I'm coming, she made brownies.
Very nice, beautiful.
Nothing cooked in the brownies, Yaakov. Regular brownies.
you? Parva.
Yes, parma.
Not just
and
parma.
brought the cold
He
cookie.
meant something else.
That's
You're
We're gonna get
Ellie, you think I didn't know what he meant? Ellie.
Open this up.
It's old. It's already out of fashion.
Okay, fine. So leave for round 2.
Labor it.
Alright, so listen. Everyone get settled. Get settled.
I hope you have something good.
This is something heavy. I don't have Rosh Chodesh. I don't have Rosh
Put it on
Chodesh.
your head.
But listen, I want everyone to go to Gmail.
Oh, you're well.
Thank you.
I want everyone to go to Gmail. Well, which one are you doing on Shabbat? You know? Dave, you know yet or not?
That's right. We have to have a taste of Cholent.
ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהים מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו.
I mean, you should know that I was away for a week and it felt like a much longer time, okay? The amount of people that come into this house and learn, okay, randomly, is something that I miss very much. And it's a shame that when I leave, it has to have, I have to go, and I'm changing.
Not so random.
Tiring. It's getting tiring.
Someone have a birthday this week?
Yeah, what is that? Is that for us?
No, I'm just saying, it's right here.
Open them up. Hey, open them up. Alright, so.
Bencha, you can start now.
Daniel
Now, who remembers?
told me about you.
Dennis.
And then I looked for you on Facebook and I saw the share.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
See?
Baruch Hashem,
Facebook
great.
works.
Facebook works.
I'm telling you. It's getting growing, big, everything.
So look, go to Gmail on Mishpatim, pay Tav Lamed Het. Talah. Now look, we know when a person. By the way, this class is dedicated in Refuah Shelma for somebody very important, close to my family. Okay, the name is tonight's class. Tonight's learning for the first shift and the second shift of the class for Refuah Shelma of Rahel Bat Haya. Zera Shimshon gives a promise that anybody that learns this Torah will see Yeshuot. So if anyone has problems, learn Zera Shimshon. It's just simple as that. So Bezat Hashem, this should be a zechut for her, and she should have a refuah shelema.
Also, could you add a lady today that spoke to me in Jerusalem
Yes,
next Thursday?
Yes.
She's having an operation to cut out a bad thing from her.
What's her name?
It's Galit
Galit.
Bat Neta.
Galit Bat Neta. She should have a refuah shelema. She should have an easy surgery.
Amen.
Anyone else?
Tilu Rivka Bas Masha, Baruch Yitzhak Ben Masha.
Right. Okay. Go to Gmail. So look, when a person steals and gets caught, okay, and he doesn't have the money to pay, what happens to him? Taf talah. What happens to him? He's a slave. How long is he a slave for? 6 years. What happens after 6 years?
Free now.
Goes free. Well, he has an option. He either goes free or
Come to the Yovel where he pokes his ear.
right. Well, not poke. I don't know. Poke is the right word to use. I poke my kids. I think this is more you pierce. You pierce the ear,
And then he leaves in the Yovel.
On a door.
and he leaves in your veil. 50 years later, whatever that number is, he's free. The Rashi writes. What is the reason that we yank him in the ear? Why in the ear dafka? Because the ear that heard lo tignov by Har Sinai, right, is the same one. That's the ear that should get hit because that's what came in. Yeah. Vehalach veganav teratza. He's the one that's the part that should get hit. Is it working?
I think so.
I don't like it when you say that. It makes me unsettled.
Picking up, yeah.
It was working before.
All right, it's fine. If it's working, it's fine. Mefashim specifically the Re'em and the Good Aryeh, and this is a great question. Yes, I have plenty of pencils. Where's the pencils?
Oh my gosh.
I bought. These are the right pencils, by the way. The pencils you want is the .05,
0.5, yeah.
right? Not the Wahash .07 or the .09 because it's much thicker. These are easier to write in between the words. So again, when a person, so that what does that she say? The ear that heard at Har Sinai lo tignov vehalach veganav and went and stole teratza. That's the one. That's where it should get hit in the ear, right? Now the Re'em and the Geur and the Gur Aryeh, they right away ask the question: why don't you pierce his ear right away? What are you waiting 6 years for?
After
Now
he wants
she
to
is
stay, when he wants to stay
Right,
with his landlord,
forget
then
that.
you give it to him.
No, but Ashi's reason, Mara ata ozen veratza, right? Why? Yeah, but why did we see that the ear is the one that gets pierced? The same ear that heard at Hatzira lo tignov and goes and steal anyway. That's the entranceway of into Neshama ears.
It's going to be because of Rashi's second reason.
Well, no, but the first reason.
That you don't have any other gods. You have no other masters.
That's the different reason, right? That's different. But the first reason is asking why the ear, but he's giving the reason why the ear. But our question is, why don't you do it right away? What are you waiting 7 years for? 6 years for? It's a fair question. If you're saying because he stole, because he hears,
The mic, I just
But he
want to
doesn't
double
have a
check.
choice.
it's working. Once it's working.
It's just,
He doesn't have a
sounds like
choice
it's
for
coming
the
from
6
here, not
years.
from
He has to remain a slave
I'm
for the
listening.
6 years. And then at the end of the 6 years, that's when he has a choice to stay a slave or not stay a slave.
But as she's reasoning as to why we're piercing his ear is because he's the ear that heard at Har Sinai don't steal. It went out and stole. So if that's the reason, what are you waiting 6 years for? Just do it now.
Because the first...
No, but
The 6 year thing is because there's a punishment that he wants to stay with the Eved and he doesn't with the Rabbo, with the Rav, and he doesn't want to go out and rely on God. That's one reason. But Rashi's specific reason, he's saying what's the reason that he says why Dafka the ear? Because the ear that heard at Har Sinai don't steal, he goes and does it now. So the question is, why are you waiting to do it now? What are you waiting the end of 6 years? What does that have anything to do?
Right away, he's saying the second the guy stole, you should take him to the thing.
Talahoni, what are you waiting for? You understand? Doc.
That's what I learned.
that's what I would say also. That's Rashi. Rashi gives two reasons there.
No, I know that's the reason, Mr. Bloomberg. But the question is why?
Seems
But
like
but
that's
you
the
gotta
answer.
go. But no. But then still, what are you waiting 6 years for? So why wait 6 years? The question still stands. Even if you want to go by the second Parshat Rashi,
The first 6 years are punishment.
first no, why are they punishment? Well, true. You seemingly. By the way, seemingly.
Punishment. After
Seemingly.
the first 6 years, he could have gone free, and he's choosing that it's obviously not punishment to him. It's actually
Yeah, look what Rashi says. So, hey, how you doing? Right. First of all, the right ear. The first thing, the right ear. Okay. Why not the small? So we go through the Gezerah. Fine. Okay. We're going to jump. It says, look. But it's a machlok, by the way, between two Tanaim. Rabbi Yohanan ben Zakkai says one thing, and Rabbi Shimon was saying something else. Rabbi Yohanan ben Zakkai is the one that says that the ear, that ozen zot, this ear, sheshamal Har Sinai lo tigno, that heard at Har Sinai don't steal, v'halach v'ganav teratza. That's the ear that you should hear. And if you want to say that's the second one, and if you want to say that he heard, what did he hear at Har Sinai? Not lo tignov. He heard that you are my slaves. So now that the fact that the guy doesn't care that the pasuk says you're my slave, and now you want to be someone else's slave, that's the guy that should get hit. That's the two opinions in the Rashi. You understand? But the question is, according to the first opinion, why wouldn't you go after the ear now? Why do you want to wait 6 years for? Go for the ear now. Why would you wait? Because according to the first explanation, why did you go for the ear? Because the same ear that heard don't steal at Har Sinai went out and stole. Okay, so do it now. What's the 6 year delay? What does that mean? That's the question.
He's not his Eved until after.
Nothing. Forget Eved. You stole. You're an Eved.
No, but what's the point?
Why do we put the thing in the ear?
Only after
I know, but what is Rashi's reasoning? Rashi's reasoning is that because the one that said the one that heard lo tignov stole, therefore we go through the ear. That is the reason of Rashi, the first opinion. Forget the second opinion.
Opposed to piercing in someplace else.
Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, who was able to heal people by them touching his hand. If he says something, it's amen. Okay, the question, you understand the question or no? I want to go
I
back.
understand the whole point.
Go
Because
ahead.
as far as my understanding from whatever I've learned, is that at the end of 6 years, if the slave wants to
stay
stay with his master,
Good.
then he goes and gets.
And he gets his thing.
Why would he do it in the first? He has 6 years to contemplate and to do
Good.
tshuva.
So I'm explaining what Rashi says. Rashi gives two opinions
Okay.
as to why we do this concept, or we do this whatever of knocking him in the ear. And Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai, who was the chief rabbi at the time, says the ear that heard at Har Sinai, do not steal, and he went out and he stole. That's the same ear that's got to get hit.
Okay.
That's what he says. Okay? So the question is, according to that opinion that says that the reason why you're knocking the ear, piercing the ear, is because he heard at Har Sinai don't steal, and he still went out and stole, then why are you waiting 6 years in order to do it? That's the question.
The second the guy stole, the Beit Din should hammer his ear.
According to your opinion, according to your reasoning, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, according to your reasoning, that the reason why we're what's it calling you? The reason why we're piercing your ear is because you stole. So if that's the case, do it now.
Right away.
Why are you waiting 6 years to do it?
I didn't think the reason that you pierced the ear was because you stole. The reason you pierced the ear is
Because he wants to stay. So that's what we all learned in first grade, and that's correct. But that's also the second. That's different. That's a different part of Rashi. There's a beginning part and an end part.
Well,
This part.
if you do it in the beginning, then you take away the whole concept of the whole reason why he's there. He's there. It's a rehabilitation program.
He's there to pay a debt. He's there. It is a rehabilitation. By the way, everything's a rehabilitation.
He can pay back 2 times, 5 times, but he has no way to pay it back.
Right, that's why
You can. By the way, one second. You could give him an. Excuse me. We could give him an IOU. We can give him an IOU, and over 6 years he can pay it off.
This is a problem of society. We're telling the balabait, look, he stole from you because you have a lot. Maybe you flaunt it. He has nothing. He didn't have the ability. He couldn't hold himself back. He stole. Now we can't pay you back. Now he's got to live by you and become rehabilitated.
So okay. Now he's jump. I don't know if he's cheating or jumping, but that means you can't leave till the end of the class because we're gonna bring out a point, a very big chidush, where you're not gonna see it coming from, and it's gonna get to your point.
Okay.
The question is why dafka the ear?
Oh, because the ear.
One second, though. Show you.
that took.
What about Shabbat? What about Shabbat? Lo tignov. What about kaved davi kaved imecha? Every time I don't do something right, go put a poke in my ear.
No, in the Seventh the Bronx talking about
Right? Just hit everything. Hit the ear every time you do something
No,
wrong.
it's talking about you don't steal a body, you don't kidnap people. Who do we know like that, right?
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. But we're gonna get to what you're saying. We're gonna get
that's
to
the whole thing. When Ishmael heard, when the angel came, you want the Torah, he said, Lolik, no, that's my job. That's what I do. I chop behind on people.
But I'm gonna ask you a question. He's still bound by Sheva Mitzvot B'nei Noach. He's not allowed to steal anyway.
I'm not arguing.
No, but think about it.
The steal here is talking about not to kidnap.
You understand the
There's
question?
4 other places that says don't steal bubble
That's
gum.
right.
We're not
All right,
talking
let's
don't
go.
steal bubble gum in the store. We're talking here don't in the Sarah Deep Road. But what we learned, like you said, the first grade was
The ear.
I'm a Shem, I'm your master, not
Right,
your
right. But if you look at Rashi, which is a long Rashi, so maybe that's why they give us the cliff notes of the Rashi. The Rashi over there says the first opinion is because the ear that you heard don't do something and you did it, that's the ear that gets hit. The question is if that's the case, then do it right away. That's the question. Now let's see.
It's a question.
That's a question. So look what he has. He's going to give you 2 sides to look at it. 2 sides to look at that. What? That you can't do anything. Maybe here, flip it out. Like this?
Oh, much better.
Really? Yeah? I know. So look what it says. Miyad sheganav, the minute he stole, it's possible that he was not ra'ui to get punished. Okay? Once I'm going to prove it. You could answer that the minute he stole, or at the time that he stole, it's possible to say that the guy was not, that he's not over on this concept of lo tignov that he heard at Har Sinai. And it only becomes known after 6 years when he decides, I don't want to leave, I want to stay. Okay, we're gonna understand it in a minute. But again, there's room. We're gonna show that the minute he stole, when he stole, he was not hayav, and we're not sure. Excuse me, we're not sure if the guy is worthy of being ra'uit for the punishment until he decides after 6 years that I want to stay, I don't want to leave. Okay?
There you go.
Igalai milta lemafrei she'avad, that he was oved, that right on lo tignov. Umishum haki, and therefore that's when we punish him. After, when he decides he doesn't want to leave, my boy, when he decides he doesn't want to leave, okay, like we have a case in Moed Katan. Now this is a great maaseh, a story that happened between Resh Lakish and some bozo guy. It was not some, it was a bozo at the end of the day. Resh Lakish was hired to watch over a field. He watches over the field. Now a guy comes and starts eating fruits from the field, taking fruits off the thing, and taking fruits off the thing. Resh Lakish says, "Hey, what are you doing? Stop it!" The guy ignores him. The Resh Lakish says, "If you don't stop, I'm putting you in nidui."
Yes.
Remember? I'm putting you in nidui. I'm the rabbi. I'm telling you, stop doing something. It's asur.
He used to be a criminal himself.
Yeah, but this was before. It was after a criminal. The guy says, "You're gonna put me in Harem? I'm gonna put you in Harem." He tells the Resh Lakish that. He goes, "You're gonna put me in nidui? I'm putting you in nidui." And so it was. What happened? Because if I owe you money, then I owe you money. But nidui, I don't owe you nidui. You can't put me in nidui. You can't put me in hayrev. What is hayrev? Excommunication. Right. Excommunication is a 30-day period, minimum 30 days, where you're out. Which means people can't do business with you sometimes. People can't talk to you. You can't get an aliyah. You're not counted for a minyan. You're out. You're physically out for 30 days. It's a heavy thing, okay? There's a story actually about a guy who Hacham Ovadia in his younger years made a can't move that. I can't see. Move that. Yeah, just move it over. Thanks. Oh, much better. That a guy comes to him and he made it was posek halakha something, and the guy didn't like it. Some guy in Jerusalem, he kept coming to Hacham Ovadia and harassing him. How could you say this halakha? You're gonna ruin everything. It was constantly. And Hacham Ovadia would ignore it. And at some point, he tells him, "If you don't leave me alone, pick that up. Pick it up."
You know what halakha was? Or you know?
No, I don't know which halakha. Zev, you cannot put this. This is not going to work. You need to put better tape.
When you're in America,
Give
buy
me
a
better
duct
tape.
tape.
No, we have tape in there somewhere.
Buy duct tape in America.
No, we have. So the guy, Hacham Ovadia says, "I'm putting you in Harem." Because if you don't stop, I'm putting you in Harem. The guy starts laughing at Hacham Ovadia. Boys, don't pay attention to it's a trap.
Nothing to see here.
Okay, that when he starts laughing. He goes, "You can't put me in Harem. There's no Harem today." So he goes, "I'm putting you in Harem." And the guy left. The guy left and left. Okay. Now the guy's walking down the street. He goes, "Yeah, you know what? I don't know. Let me ask my rabbi about this Harem thing. I just want to make sure. Let me just, I want to be doing my job. Let me just double check." He goes to his rabbi. He goes, "Rabbi, how you doing?" He goes, "I have a question." He goes, "Is there a concept of Harem today?" He goes, "No. There's no concept of Harem today. Anybody puts a Harem is fake." He goes, "All right, thank you, Rabbi." Okay, leaves. Then, still bothering him, he goes to the second rabbi. Asks second rabbi. Same thing. No, there's no Harem. Goes to, who did he go to the third one? Rav Eliashiv. Okay? So now...
This was between Sfaradi, first of all. Now we went to Rav Eliashiv.
Rav Eliashiv is also Sfaradi.
No, he's Ashkenazi.
Really?
Shlomo Eliashiv, Ashkenazi.
Oh, so Rav Mordechai Eliyahu then.
Oh,
Mordechai, sorry. I always get them confused. I don't know why.
And he's still in good company.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. They're both going to be dancing in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Wait.
That's good. That's not bad. So now so he tells him. So he goes, "Rabbi, I want to ask you a small question. Is there nidui today?" So he says, "No, there's no nidui." He goes, "All right, Rabbi, thank you very much." So walking out, then the rabbi calls him. "Why are you asking?" So he goes, "Well, Hacham Ovadia had a thing, and he told me put me in Harem." He goes, "What? Hacham Ovadia, you said put you in Harem?" He goes, "Yeah." He starts screaming at him. He goes, "Stay away from me. Stay 4 more. Stay away. Don't come next to me. Don't come next to me. Don't come next to me. Stay away. Go to Hacham Ovadia right now and ask for me hilas. Do not come next to me." and he ran to Acham Avadiah. He asked for mechila. It's written down in the books. He asked for mechila, and he's zaykuzot. He lived happily ever after. But it's no joke. Herem is not a joke. So now this guy is telling Reish Lakish, you can't put me in herem. Why? Because there's no basis. What's the no basis? You want to say I owe you money? I owe you money. You can't put me in herem for that. Okay? And then Nimukei Yosef comes and he brings the reef, and he explains that why would he not be hayav nidui? What you put people in nidui for things a lot less. For the Rabbanan, the Rif is saying, sure, right, but no, look, Gezel, right. So that's why you would put him in what's it called?
Not because of financial.
Stealing, not for stealing. You don't put somebody in a hand for stealing.
Right, but Mesarev get maybe yes because you
agreed. But so that stuff is derabanan.
Right.
The whole concept of ketubah is derabanan.
Right.
So now, if you all of a sudden now you're going up, and they tell so the Rif is asking, why would the guy not be eligible to be in harem? If you could be put in harem for less things, the oraita for sure should be put in harem. Why not? Why not? And he answers.
There's other punishments. He has to give.
But if you're gonna, but you're saying that I can't be put in harem because it doesn't make it, because it's not worthy. But there's a lot of things that are much less that we put someone in harem for.
Right.
But he answers because Reish Lakish had to give him a warning first. Right. He had to give him a warning first. You can't put somebody in harem until you give him a warning.
It's like if you don't do this, I do that.
If you don't do this, it's going to happen. He didn't give him a warning. He just tell him stop. He didn't say if you're not going to do it. Careful, right? He just put him straight. Okay. And so that's the Ravad. The Ravad says that he didn't warn him in the beginning that he shouldn't eat, and he should have done that. The Beit Yosef. Okay, so far, okay. We got to break. Whenever you learn Zera Shimshon, especially the complicated ones, you got to break it down. The first one is we said that a person that gets his ear pierced because he wants to stay after 6 years. Okay, Rashi says why. The first opinion, Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai says why. It's because come on in, boys. Hey, you're late. that again. We're gonna bless you. We're gonna start again. We have the Eved Ivri gets punctured right in the ear after 6 years. Why? Because it says that the ear that heard at Har Sinai don't steal went out and stole. Okay, so that's the thing that's got to get punished. The question we're asking: why are you waiting 6 years? If that's the reason, do it now. And that's the first thing. Then we bring to say that it could be that the reason is that we don't know that the guy is really hayav on lo tignov b'mezid on purpose until after the 6 years comes and the guy says, I'm staying here. I'm not going back out into the world. And we bring a maaseh of Reish Lakish and this guy who was stealing. Reish Lakish put him in harem. It didn't work out so well for Reish Lakish. And the question was, why is it such a big deal? And he should be able to be put him in harem. And we answered because he was supposed to give him a warning. You're supposed to give him, and he did not. No, he didn't tell him don't. He didn't give him a warning. You're not allowed, if you eat, I'm going to put you in harem. He just yelled at him, don't eat, and he ignored it and kept eating. When he did that, he put him in harem. Okay, you're supposed to warn him. If you don't, I'm going to put you in harem. Okay. The Nimukei Yosef says, why didn't you? Right. That's what we just said about the warning. The Beit Yosef wrote Shulchan Aruch. Okay, Rabbi Yosef Karo writes in Yoreh De'ah Siman Shin Lamed Daled. He writes specifically about putting someone in nidui, putting somebody in harem. It's only if you don't know his intention, you have to give him a warning. But if you know that the guy is up to no good, you don't have to give him a warning. Again, the Beit Yosef writes, if you know, right, the davka kehai gavna delo yadira kavanato imaital lifroa. We don't know when you're going to put someone in nidui for 30 days. You could put someone in nidui. I mean, not now, but back in the day you could. Just say, but it's got to be based on something. Because why? Because if you're wrong, you go into nidui. You want to bring out the big guns. You better be able to back it up, because if it's like getting countersued,
He's saying that maybe the guy thought that these fruit are for sale, and I'm going to pay him back later.
So right, that was the warning that he was supposed. That's what he had to think of. But so the Beit Yosef over here is saying that when you don't know what the guy's kavanah was, the case of Reish Lakish, he could have assumed that maybe the guy's eating now and will pay after. which he did not do, which you understand, that's why the Hatara is needed. He did not know the kavanah of this guy. But Beit Yosef says, if you know what the guy is up to no good, right? If you know that the guy just don't look right, with it, in the retail world back in the day, whenever somebody would walk in with an empty bag, you already hasho. Yeah, hasho in Arabic means thief. So so the guy in front of the store would tell the guy in the back of the store, hasho. So they know already to look for the guy that's walking around with an empty bag, walking through a store. Okay, we don't know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. That's when you know the kavanah is no good. Now, if you don't know the kavanah is not good, then you have to give him a warning. Retail. What do you want? Okay? So v'yadua kavanatam shehira lera'ah. When you know that the kavanah is bad, and sirchim hatra'ah. You're not required to give the guy any type of warning.
You don't have to warn him.
You don't have to warn him. If you know the guy's up to no good, if the guy's a hasho. If you know the guy's a hasho, then you don't have to give any type of warning. Don't we have extra chairs? We got. Maybe put the table longer. The back table, make it longer.
You don't have to give him any warning that you're putting him in nidui.
That if you continue this action, I'm going to put you in nidui.
But you have to say something.
When you generally yes.
Stealing. Let's say he's stealing. He's sitting, he's eating, right? You got to tell him. You can't just put him in nidui.
It seems from here that
Beit Yosef is saying, when you know the guy's up to no good, you do not have to give him a warning because I'm going to put you in nidui. Because he knows the guy's working with bad intentions. Normal such circumstance, if a guy's doing something, Shakish should have gave the guy a warning because he didn't know.
The ramifications of what you're saying is that if I think this guy is up to no good, let's say he's up to no good. He's a criminal, he's a pushtak. You're in nidui.
No, what is he doing? Is he stealing?
You have to tell him. Right?
Is he stealing? Is he in the middle of that?
He's in the act of stealing.
Then yes.
But we don't give him a warning.
If the guy,
repent,
what is the kavanah? What is? Listen to me. What is the normal way of someone that's already considered a gazlan?
Repent.
No, that's not the answer.
We don't say repent.
No. What is the? No, you didn't hear the question. That's
I'm
not
listening.
No. The question is
Chinese food over here.
Chinese food. Well, where's the salads? There was salad. I brought some meat salads. There's meat salads. We went to Harvey's tonight, and I took all the leftovers. I put it all together. We got Harvey's tonight. Maybe. Yeah, let's go. Let's get it. We gotta get it.
Who's Harvey?
Harvey in Jerusalem. We went for my wife and my son's birthdays on the same days today.
Today,
yeah.
Oh,
so we're eating. I'm like, oh, yellow, let's go. Let's go.
Cupcakes with the happy birthday.
That's why I got the happy birthday cupcakes. So look, when you know there's a person that is a bona fide stealer, thief, or a bona fide Ponzi scheme guy, or something like that, you don't have to warn him when he's in the action. No. But how do you do that? You know because the guy's already been doing it and he has a reputation. The guy has a reputation. And if you have a reputation, you do not have to give him a warning. Okay? That's called street smart. That's called street smart. Do me a favor, it's not all rosy all the time. If you know the guy is a bona fide, yes, we tell him to make teshuvah. It has nothing to do with telling him to make teshuvah. Right now, he's doing something wrong. And he's constantly doing something wrong. And he's not changing his ways. You have to act on it. You can't just say nothing.
Well, what's the purpose of nidui? Just to punish him?
No. What is the definition of punishment? Is to cleanse. Is to give him the 30 days to think about what he did. Oh, no, why is when a person comes to Metzorah...
If he's stealing and you didn't warn him, what is he going to do? He doesn't care.
Sometimes they do. What are you talking about?
Oh, you mean you're going to tell him you're
when people know,
then he'll care?
When there's security cameras in the store and it's known, people see it, people don't steal. Because they know they're being watched. But when they don't know they're being watched...
You were in America now.
Yeah.
You didn't see...
the California.
The smash and grabs?
Yeah. Well, they go...
The gangs, they walk around in the store, of like 50 of them, converge on the store, they smash the glass and grab everything.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not saying who does it, because I'm not a racist. But we're
Okay, right, let's go. So now again, what are we trying to say? We're trying to say that we don't know that the guy's a true ganav until after 6 years. When he decides that he's going to come, and say, I want to stay. Now this ganav, this stoler, this thief was sold because of his theft. In the beginning, you would tell yourself, יש לנו לומר שהוא גנב ממש וראוי לעונש ומיד כשגנב מכל שכן שגנב הדבר שבוודאי אינו עומד למכירה. Okay, look, I have a question. Are you allowed to if you steal something, you have to pay kefil. Pay double. Am I allowed, right, double, you gotta pay. Am I allowed to steal something with the intention of I'm gonna pay double tomorrow. I know I'm gonna pay double tomorrow, but I need it today, so I'm gonna steal it today.
No.
Why not? Where does it say that?
What do you mean?
I'm gonna steal, and I'm gonna pay it back.
Without permission. That's
Go
the
to
issue.
Knov.
So by the way, it's not so. It's true. And that's how the Hachamim in Baba Metzia are doresh on the words lo tignov, right? It says lo tignovu. Lo tignovu is coming to include something, even on the condition of right. Al menat lahzir. Then I'm gonna give it back to the guy tomorrow. All right, it's a hard loan. I need $1,000 today. I'll pay $2,000 tomorrow. I need $1,000 today. What am I need $1,000 today. I got to do it. Cash advance, right? 20, 30 points. Okay, it's money.
Doesn't that bring into where you can't charge interest?
So this is not interesting. I'm saying I'm willing to take the penalty. The penalty.
You're effectively paying interest if you're doing that. But
No,
You're,
it's a penalty.
no, it's a penalty. It's not interest. Because the guy does not want you to steal from him. The guy's not interested. And not only that, you're not allowed to steal in order to give somebody sa'ad. Even with the intention, I'm going to return it. But I want to take my wife's car keys. I want to play around because she's annoying me. So I'm just going to let it be a day without the car. And I'll bring it back to you. Can't do that. Okay? Lo tignevu. Okay? It says lo tignevu to teach you what? V'darshu razal afilu amenat lemekal o letzaer o leshalem tashlumei kefil. Now, if you want to say that the guy who stole is anus because hazit, he's misken, he needs no choice. Sometimes you steal because you have to. Shlomo HaMelech himself says in Kohelet, don't make me rich and don't make me poor. Don't make me rich because I might forget you. The lapse of luxury, you tend to forget things real fast. Don't make me poor because I might steal. So Shlomo HaMelech himself says it. So here he says, if you want to say that the guy's anus, because specifically, is shara dahak, I don't have a choice, I need to feed my, God forbid, a person needs to feed their family, you're going to feed your family. Okay? And why did he steal? He should have sold himself as an eved. Melakatahila, right. He should have, if he needed to steal for honest, he should have sold himself as an eved first. Okay?
But that's even worse. Sell yourself as an eved is even worse than stealing. Right,
no, it's not a sudoraita though.
No, but
how is that going to guarantee that he's going to feed his family, or how's it going to guarantee he's going to get?
I'll tell you
What
because
do you mean? They give him $1 million. He's a slave for 10 years.
They're not giving him $1 million if you're a slave.
You do
How much did he
paid as
sell?
an eved. It's just
How much does a slave cost?
If he stole because he needs the money to do
No, here he
whatever
didn't
now.
steal. No, here he didn't steal. He wants to sell himself so he has food for his family.
That's a
How much
different
does it cost?
story.
That's
But
what he's
you're
saying
saying he should have sold himself. That's not exactly a peep the road for the immediate problem.
the thing is that we want to understand what the guy's intentions are.
Yes.
If my intention was that I was shot at dahak, then you should have just sold yourself and be an eved, which means once you're an eved, after 6 years, I'm going to go free. I did what I had to do. It was a rough time, but then I went back. But now that the guy decides I want to stay, we see lemafreya retroactively had nothing to do that it was shot at dahak. The guy just wanted to steal. You understand? That's the key. After 6 years, you want to say it's for sure because if the guy goes free, it makes sense. Shara dahak, he did his time, he had to feed his family, he stole what he stole, he had to do what he had to do. But now the guy's running home. Beauty. Now, if the guy doesn't do that, it's showing that he had no intention. It meant nothing. You understand? Yeah. Because really, if you want to say it's from his shara dahak, then he should have sold himself as an eved first. Sold himself as an eved, give his family what he needs, and after 6 years you come out free. But really, why did he sell himself? Because he didn't want to be over on Isur. So now that he wants to stay and doesn't want to go home like he's supposed to, his kavanah is revealed. Doc, you get it? Okay. His kavanah is revealed, and now he's ra'ui that he's over on the love of lo tignov. So now you pierce his ear. That's one way to look at it. Okay?
That's one way, but
I'm going to give you another way.
If you say that he was like a tinok shenishba, when he stole in the beginning, he didn't know the halacha. He was an ignoramus.
So that's the second angle.
He was a Jew in ignoramus.
That's the second
After
angle.
living in his Balabayit's house and hearing Divrei Torah every Shabbos, he became a chacham. He started learning Torah. Now if he doesn't listen, now he gets the ears pierced.
So okay, so first angle is remember why the first question, the original question is why Dafka after 6 years, and we're answering because we don't know if he's really oved on it or not. If he's oved because he had to feed his family's anus, then it's kavanah. Remember we talked about kavanah.
6 years.
No, what do you mean?
We're going to learn this kavanah then 6 years.
Excuse me. There are people that after 20 years they get out of jail, they go do a crime in order to go back to jail.
No, absolutely, I agree with that. But there are also various reasons for that. So
there's various reasons to everything.
We're talking about the Jewish rehabilitation from Jewish prison.
Jewish rehab.
Jewish rehab.
Because he's supposed to be learning within 6 years. But if the guy doesn't get the message and he still wants to stay, that's showing that his original intention of what he wanted to do was bad, and his intention was never to be rehabilitated or cared enough to be, or doesn't care to be rehabilitated because his heart's gonna be close to all the torah that he's gonna get.
He had a kavanah to steal, and then 6 years he's a slave, and he had any kind of chavamina to be rehabilitated. He doesn't even know he's being rehabilitated. We're hoping.
What are you talking about? People know.
No, when we take the 18-year-old punk. And he stole. And now you're going to be who you stole from, you can't pay it back, you're going to be his slave. Now he's watching. I'm sleeping in a good bed, mattress, and my balabite sleeping on the floor. On the floor.
Okay.
Now what's going on here? After 6 years, he begins to learn Menschlichkeit. He begins to learn Torah. He gets to see around with his family. He never
that's the normal case of a guy that's lost. Yes. And you're right. But when he decides he wants to stay, it's showing that he wants to stay, and he's not.
Let's use your dogma. You know why these criminals in the
like to go back?
Because that's the only life they've learned. 20 years. I got to go back home.
Not all the time.
Most of the time.
I'm going to tell you something that you might not know.
They go. I don't recognize this. I can't survive here. I want to go back home.
I work.
Yeah.
Okay, and not the most poshest of neighborhoods. Okay. And you learn a lot of things about the street when you're there. There's a lot of more ways to skin a cat than you might think.
Okay.
Some guy rather be in jail.
Yeah.
Because that's
not that it's the only thing they know. It's not a bad life. You got a roof over your head. You don't have to work. You get 3 square meals a day. You get cable TV.
Listen, I don't want to be cholek on you.
No, I'm just saying. I'm telling you what I'm telling you from the street. You can't argue because I know this from
The prisons are so horrible. The prisons are. You take Chino in California, right?
We're not talking about that. We're talking about somebody.
I'm just answering what he's saying. The prison, like you take Chino and all of the prisons in California, they are factories of murder. The gangs there, they're murder factories.
They're not all. Some of them are nice country clubs. Hello,
white
white-collar crimes ain't so bad. You get to play golf.
We're talking about hard-nosed criminals.
But I'm saying there's extremes to each spectrum.
We're not talking about where Jack Abramoff went. We're not talking about the country club.
Yaakov, go.
Okay.
The question is when you hire a Jewish slave, do you not have to treat him as good as?
Treat him better.
Better than your.
You have to treat him better.
Fine. So then
So after 6 years, he should look. When the person does something wrong.
The question is that it might not be a symbol of him understanding that he committed the crime.
So, but we're just trying to understand. We're trying to prove that if he did it, something he did it by honest, and we only know after the fact. Okay, that's just one. Let me go on to the next angle.
Next,
the first angle, just to be clear. Remember, there's many angles. The first angle is because we realize why after 6 years, because we see that if it was because of a dohak that he was in, right? He should have sold himself originally, and since he didn't sell himself originally. And now he got, he messed up and now he became a slave. After 6 years, he should want to go back to his family, which is the reason why he stole it in the first place, to go support them. And now that we see that the fact that he wants to stay, we know this kavanah was just to steal, and therefore that's when we know that now he's legitimately oved on lo tignot. That's why the ear that heard. Different way. Complete adkan. Okay. Completely different angle. If I didn't mess you up now, wait.
Mitigating circumstances.
Okay, but that's the.
That's one. That's the beginning. That's the beginning. That's the beginning. There's more.
Yeah.
Ela misad aher yesh lahafoch bizkuto velomar. Now we're going to complete opposite. Yeah. We're showing that the guy's bad. Now we're going to say completely different.
Yeah.
Where there's a side to wait in order to give the guy zechut. Why give him zechut? That we're going to assume that his kavanah that he stole was not bad.
Wait, holding, sorry.
On Tav Lamed Tet, where it says Ela misad aher yesh la'afoch, which is the second paragraph on the page on the right side.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the kavarato enara, yes.
Going by what you're saying right now, why can't we just say, you know what? After 6 years, the guy loves his new balabayit, loves the family. He says, why would I go anywhere else? It's a great family. I'm now living and working for the best rabbi in the world.
We're going to get to that in a minute. And why that's such a bad thing? Because we have a pasuk that says, Yisrael avadim avadayim, you're mine.
Okay, that's
you
right.
now want to decide to be someone else? I told you I was going to get to what you were saying before. I told you, give me a minute. I got to rev up. In the winter, you don't just turn the car on and go, you give it a minute.
Give it a minute.
So look, so you give the complete opposite zechut, right? Why? You want to say that his kavanah was not ra'ah. Ela sheta'a b'svarato. He just made a mistake in his own logic. What does it say in Baba Batra? It says, Darash Rabbi Pinchas ben Bar Hama, Kashe aniyut betoch beto shel adam yoter me-50 makot. That, God forbid, lo aleinu v'lo alechem, poverty in a house is stronger and rougher to deal with in someone's house than 50 makot that Mitzrayim took in Mitzrayim.
Again?
Aniyut.
Poverty house is more difficult than the...
To deal with than the 50 makot in Mitzrayim. Okay? Which is, by the way, anybody that all they want to do is just support their family, and when they have they'll agree. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been there too. Okay, we've all been there. It's there's no thing where it doesn't work that way. Okay, it's the normal way of dealing with things.
That's one normal way, and the other normal way is to be like Hanina Mendoza.
You have Hanina Mendoza's wife, then you can be Hanina Mendoza. Okay?
Why? She almost ruined him with that gold leg.
She's the one that saved him because of the gold leg.
She was the one that also almost ruined him because of the gold leg.
So we're actually, by the way, we're going to get there. We're going to intertwine it. So look, let's look. So again, what is he? So Rabbi Pinchas ben Hama is Doresh, saying that poverty inside a house is worse to a person than 50 makot. How do we know? Because the pasuk in Eov says Hanuni, which is saying what his friends are saying. At least you still have your money. He lost this, he lost that. I mean, I guess the next day he kind of lost it probably, but at that point, Sasha, he didn't lose it yet. Okay?
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. What does the Maharsha write? The Maharsha writes in Baba Batra on this Gemara. It says that the Rabbi Pinchas ben Hama was medakdek to say the words betoch beto inside the guy's house. Why? Because he's teaching you that even if a person has money, but it's because it's borrowed money from someone else, it's the same 50 makot. It's just as bad. If you understand, if you borrow money from somebody and you're living off that borrowed money, it's the same thing. Again, the Maharsha, living on debt. Maharsha says, "Didek lomad betoch beto shel adam." By the way, debt is not the same thing as owing a friend. Debt to a bank, and I just have to change the name of the house from me to my wife, is very different than me owing my friend that I see every Shabbat in shul. Very different. Okay,
so you're saying it's worse to the friend?
For sure.
None of them.
For sure. None of them are good.
You're saying it's worse to the friend?
Yeah, what do you mean?
You have to see him every day.
Every day is the worst. Are you kidding?
Still, if somebody owes you money and you know he can't pay it, you got to cross the street.
Separate halachot. Agreed.
No, I'm just saying.
Why? By the way, why? Why? Because the guy feels that way.
That's right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Right? Because the guy feels that way. Because it's worse than 50 makot in the house.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's talui on others. He's talui on other people. Okay? And that hit, okay, of being reliant on other people is much harder for him than 50 makot in the house. Again, we asked the question, why, when we pierce the guy's ear by the door, why do we wait 6 years? Why do we do it right away? Because what Rashi says, Rabban Yohanan ben Zakkai says, that the ear that heard at Har Sinai don't steal and stole, therefore we do it. So the question is, then do it right away. What are you waiting 6 years for? So we explained that it must be that we're not sure that the guy is hayav on lo tignov or not yet. Until after 6 years, when he decides to stay home, to stay by the Rav. Why? We learn by Moed Katan, we learn a story of Resh Akish and the Resh Akish was guarding a field. The guy comes and starts eating. The Resh Akish says, stop doing that. He says, no. He says, I'm putting you in Harem. The guy says, I'm going to put you in Harem. You can't put me in Harem. I'm putting you in Harem. The guy says to Resh Akish. And he goes, you want to say I owe you money? Then I owe you money. but I don't know. But you can't put me in Harem. They go to Beit Din, boom. Resh Lakish 30 days was in Harem. Why? So because he should have warned him. He should have warned him, and he didn't warn him. Why? You have to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was eating it to buy. He was going to pay for it. Look, if you ever go, sometimes I stay in Philadelphia, and I go to like Trader Joe's or something, and I don't exactly bring food like I used to, so I'm on fumes sometimes. So I'll open a bag of chips, I'll start eating them, but I'm eating my card. I know I'm going to pay for it at the end. No one's going to tackle me in the aisle, the produce aisle. They wait there, and then I say, okay, I ate this, and they charge me because sometimes I get crazy, I get delirious. One time Friday night, I didn't eat all day. I started feeling whatever. I went into shul, into the kitchen. I opened the refrigerator. I started eating grapes during Kabbalat Shabbat. I don't eat. I lose weight when I go there. Yeah, it's good. I like that part. So anyway, so back to we say that you got to give the guy a warning. If you don't give the guy a warning, right, then there's no good. But we also learned, Beit Yosef brings down that if you give a guy, when do you give a guy a warning? Under normal circumstances. But if the guy is a known villain, right, and he's in the middle of stealing, you don't have to give him a warning because he has hazakah to what he is. And now that the guy stole, we want to say that maybe it's because of his shot at dahak. The guy has no money, he has a family to feed, he doesn't want his children to die of starvation, God forbid. So what does he do? Okay, he has to do what he has to do. He steals, gets caught. All right, now he gets taken. He gets taken, fine. That's fine. Now after 6 years, so now we want to say that the guy's anus.
But is that a tarutz to say when he's anus? Not to give him the thing?
That's the thing. Why? Because he can't wait to go back home. But now that you don't want to go back home and you want to stay here, now we're questioning your kavanah, and that we believe your kavanah is fake. So therefore, the ear that heard Lo Tigno by Har Sinai is the one that gets hit. That's one way. And you only know that is real kavanah after the fact. Now the second, with a different angle you could look, and that's what we're up to now, that his kavanah to steal was not bad at all, but just that he messed up with his logic. Okay, why? Because we have the Gemara Baba Batra. Rabbi Pinchas ber Hamas says that aniyut is harsher on a person in his house more than 50 makot. How do we know? Pasuk in Iyov, right? That says, yeah, it's all but at least thank God you have your money. Okay, it's funny. It's like the women, they'll do anything. They'll take any. One of my cousins was sick. Okay, different cousin was sick, and the doctor said it's like a 1 in 3,000 you might die, but it also, so she said, all right, whatever, and then the doctor said it also might give you weight, you might gain weight. She says, oh no, forget it, I'm not doing it. Forget it. The kavanah comes out. You understand? You don't want to lose weight, you don't want to gain weight. No, that's Brooklyn joke.
What is the chanuni? How does it?
So thank you. You actually brought it back because Eov is telling his friends, at least you have your money, at least you're not poor.
To them. He's
Eov,
telling his friends.
Yeah, I think I didn't look up the pasuk. I'm not sure. I just came back an hour ago.
Right.
Okay, and the Mahasha comes.
We'll let it pass.
Let this one go. We can look it up together. So the Mahasha was medaktek. It says Lomar betok beto shel Adam. Right. That remember the Rabbi Pinchas ber Hamas says that it's harsh. Aniyut is harsher inside a person's house. Right. Dehainu, which means what? That even a person has mezonot, but it's contingent on other people. He's living off borrowed money that he has to ask for every week. That's harsher than 50 makot. Okay, now here we bring it home. This guy was thinking in his head, since it's not proper to steal. No, I'm sorry. Since it's not proper to sell myself as an eved. Since it's not proper to sell myself as an eved, because if I sell myself as an eved, it's not going to save me from this pain that I'm going to feel because I'm going to be reliant on someone else, and it's going to be worse than 50 makot. Right? Im ken, what it says, we have a pasuk, when your friend gets lower than you, right? When he gets into troubled times, he's going to say that this pasuk is talking about when it's already too late and it was already done.
He already stole.
He's already a slave.
He's
already a slave.
Right, so he's saying this guy is.
This guy's in a position. He's in a predicament. He doesn't want to steal. He doesn't want to be a slave either. But what's the best of two evils? Let me steal now, and I'll pay it back when I have it. That's what he's going to say.
But, even,
What?
but then you're saying is that it's better to, his logic is I'd rather be over midoraita than
Because he's saying it's really like an asmachta in the Gemara. It's not real. Here's the pasuk that says "V'chi amuch," when your friend gets lower than you, is only after the fact
That he stole.
and he's an eved.
Then he sells himself.
That he's an eved. He's forced to, and the pasuk is really coming to tell you don't be an eved. Why? Because the pasuk says Ki li b'nei Israel avadim avadayim. Because the pasuk says that Hashem, we are God's slaves. We are not free. Get that out of your head. We are not free. We were transferred ownership, like the mortgage was transferred from one bank to another.
Moshe says,
Ki
you're
li.
going to send them out so they'll serve me. Hashem says,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's called avodat Hashem. We are slaves.
Better to be
But it's okay because the slaves of a king are rich.
It's basically saying that from a moralistic perspective, it's better to be on the streets than to be taken in by somebody else as a slave.
That's what he's thinking.
Yes.
That's what he's thinking. He's why? Because he's saying what Rabbi Pinchas Bar Hama is bringing that Aniyut is worse than 50 makot is only an asmachta, and he's reading the pasuk wrong. That when your friend goes under, right? He's saying that they'll take him in as a slave. He's saying this is only after the fact, and really you shouldn't, because the pasuk says that that you are my slaves, and you are my slaves. You're not slaves of slaves. You're my slaves. So if I'm a slave, and Reuven comes over here, and now he owes money or whatever, I buy him as a slave. So this guy that's stealing or is faced with the predicament, should I steal or should I not, is going to say he can't be Charles' a slave because Charles is a slave. Himself is a slave. Right. So it must mean it's better to steal.
Hard to understand the svarad of the Ganav.
Right, why not? It's so simple.
Explain to me.
He gets to choose
Close
who
door.
he's going to be a slave of.
That's a big thing. Who chooses?
In other words, I choose to be
If I
Hashem's
get
slave, therefore
I
I'm
steal
gonna...
from you.
He's choosing. Well, he's right. He's choosing.
Right.
We're trying to say why we have to wait 6 years.
I didn't understand.
Right, yeah.
We're trying to say what? It was easier for him to steal with the intention to pay kefil. שלא באזהרה על זה בפשט הכתוב, אלא באסמכתא בעלמא.
Explain.
Remember we said
the Ganav saying, I prefer to be a Ganav and pay kefel than to become a slave.
why? Because the Gemara Baba Metzia that says lo tignevu, they made an asmachta that you can't steal in order, even if you know you're going to pay it back tomorrow.
Right.
So that's really an asmachta. The pasuk, he's reading the pasuk wrong, but he's saying don't be a slave because you are already a slave and you're supposed to be my slaves and not supposed to be someone else's slave. So this guy's saying to himself, I rather be over on something much less, which is derabanan, which let me owe the guy double. Who cares? Rather than being a slave.
I feel like it also should be that the guy who now owns a slave should have some sort of punishment because
The guy that what?
like the guy who's owning a slave. I mean, it's not part of this, but like I feel like he should incur some sort of punishment because like how
They
could
say
you
who-
take him as a slave? He already belongs to me.
So that's the reason. That's the reason. Is right. Because what's the reason? Go ahead.
But he's saying there's a time. But really, we're not talking about a slave like a goy. We're talking about the Eved Ivri,
But
because there's already Tnaim in his favor. He's not totally a slave.
When you're, it says in the Gemara, anyone that takes a slave acquires a master.
Yeah, right. That's
You
right.
understand? Because why? Because at the end of the day, all he's doing, right? He has to give him the last bed, his ceiling, mattress, pedic, whatever. He's got to give him his last food. He's got to give him everything.
Right. He gets the better of everything.
He gets the better of everything. Why? Because of what he has to deal with.
Yeah.
So that's why he rather takes. No, it's two guys leaving. They're reshuffling the chairs.
Oh.
They're taking. It's like the 7th inning. You know, like where half the stadium.
Right.
I don't know. You'd be surprised if you've spoken to me for 1,000 years. You would never know that I know nothing about sports. I know about American football, but baseball, the innings, the RBIs. My parents are Holocaust survivors. I don't know. The only thing when it comes to a bat, the Nazis holding a bat. But I don't know anything about baseball. Anyhow, go on. But you wouldn't know it.
Yes.
I had a little potter for mitzvahs.
What? He's hayav in the mitzvot that women are hayav, and I think katan, a shivha, an eved, and nashim have all the same mitzvot that they're hayav on. But yeah, there are less. But he's because Mangar Amai, he doesn't have time. It's not his.
Oh, so he's putting from tefillin and all that now.
I don't know the details, but yeah, I guess I don't know the details.
He's like,
So this is what the guy said. By the way, I'm gonna tell you even more. He wasn't the only one. He wasn't the only one that wasn't sure that you were allowed to steal on the condition of returning tomorrow. You're still not allowed to do that. You know who else didn't know? David HaMelech. David HaMelech did not know the halacha. Am I allowed to steal today and I'll just pay kefil tomorrow? How do we know? We have a pasuk in Yehezkel showing that the Sanhedrin had to inform David that we don't do that. What's the pasuk? In Yehezkel. Yeah, right? From where to where? Havol yashiv rasha gezela yeshalem. That the Rasha, it's called the Rasha, right? It's good. The Rasha returns what he stole, and we're saying even though he paid back the double, he's still called the Rasha.
But this isn't something that David did. This is something that he was judging.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but even David HaMelech didn't know the David's face is on Kisei Kavod.
Yeah.
So I'm saying if he didn't know it,
He empathized with the position. It was a real question.
yeah, it's a real question. Yeah. So we're trying to say that if you want to say this is far fetched, that the guy didn't think it's not so far fetched because David HaMelech himself didn't know the answer.
The mentality of someone who was in desperate need is like, okay, if you catch me, I'll pay, but like whatever it is, I need what I need today.
I knew. By the way, $1,000 today is worth way more than 10,000 tomorrow when I don't need the 10,000.
Right. Or when you don't know you're going to get the 10,000 for sure.
Well, when you need what you need what you need when you need it.
The guy needs a plate of food.
Okay, look, umishum hachi, and therefore that's why the guy did not want to sell himself at the beginning, because you could say, why did you? If you needed the money, you should have sold yourself in the beginning and not be over. But he's reading the pasuk. That no, the pasuk is really the avad when it already happened, and I stole. Now I'm a slave, and the pasuk is coming to teach genai on the guy that did it. And really, it's better to steal with the intention of paying double tomorrow. That's what he's saying.
As opposed to selling yourself into slavery.
Right now. As opposed to selling yourself as a slave.
That's the svara of the Ganav. That's not
right. That's right. That's the svara. That's the incorrect svara. Right. We don't know all this until the end. Right. That's why he did not want to sell himself, and he went to go steal. Right, to do what he had to do. The al menat leshalem kesheyeshlo on contingent or on. Condition that I'm going to pay it for when I have it. Leficha, and therefore maybe the guy is not a ui for onish. Okay, because he's what lo yabuzu malil mishum hachi amar. He only stole to eat because he's poor, not because he wanted to steal to steal. And mishum hachi, the pasuk says v'nikad b'nevato sharei afilu lefi devarav. Even according to his logic and according to his incorrect understanding of the deen, he's still called an eved. Why? Shaharehu hayav. He's still called an eved because even though the guy is not an eved, but now he's indebted to somebody,
you're like
he's considered an eved.
Eved loveh leish malveh. Right,
because you have famous pasuk in Mishleh, eved loveh leish malveh. A borrower is like a slave to the lender.
So the Gemara says, slave. By stealing, he already made himself a slave.
Right, he already made himself a slave. You understand? You want to say making yourself a slave because the pasuk says avadim avadai li, that they're mine.
It's worse than stealing.
That it's worse than stealing. I'm not to pay double, right? And then, but you don't realize that when you did that, you're still considered a slave because you stole, right? And therefore, we have to sell him.
Well, we're all slaves according to that.
We are slaves.
Yeah.
But if you borrow money, you're also considered a slave.
That leveraging is considered to be slave.
Yeah, the Gemara, by the way, says if you want someone not to talk to you, lend them some money. Lend them some money. Okay? Because don't ask for the payment. Because the guy's it's what it is. Okay? But you have a problem.
He's going to run away from you.
Yes, that's the thing. Why? Because he ain't free. He wants to be free. He owes this debt on top of him. Why it's what it says in Kiddushin Yud Chet Amud Aleph Hay, okay? Venimkar bignevato velo bichfelo. It says that he was sold on his thievery. It doesn't say that he sold on his becheflo that he really had to pay double and he couldn't pay the double. Why? Lefi shemchira zo lo ratza katuv le'til alav shum onesh. Because why? Because the selling, the only reason why he stole is because he doesn't have, and he was shot at dahak, It's possible that his kavanah was not to be over al divrei Torah. Just he was to'eh in the deen. He made a wrong turn. He's supposed to go right. He went left. He wasn't sure. He thought that this is the right thing to do.
Right. If I pay back tomorrow twice,
right,
it's better than selling as a slave.
According to logic.
According to his logic,
it makes sense. This is what I'm supposed to do. Steal. I'll pay back tomorrow. It's not the best thing to do, but it's all right. So it's frowned upon. But it's not asur.
It's like texting while you're driving. You're like, well, one day they're gonna catch me. I'll pay 1,000 shekel.
So my rabbi holds that's a deoraita.
Yeah.
My rabbi holds, Rabbi Osgood holds that texting and driving is deoraita.
Sure.
Why? Because because you're engaging others. It's not only you; you're engaging others. So for those that text and drive, I'm sorry. I'd say I'm guilty myself, but I'm trying to get better. But maybe that's why I got to test this.
Same for speeding.
Let's not go crazy.
The master gets the wife and the kids.
We're gonna get there.
And if they gave him a wife and they had kids, and he leaves the wife,
why is it a problem?
And the kids stay.
Right.
It's not working.
That's a good reason for the guy not to go.
It is. If that's
You know what he's saying? He's saying.
It's all plugged in. It all looks good.
What is it saying?
Right.
Charles.
Yeah.
It's recording.
No, he's saying like this.
So what are you hearing right now?
You can't deceive.
That's why he said.
He's saying the guy came in with nothing. Yeah? The guy came in with nothing. He sold himself with nothing to be a slave.
Cable, yeah.
Now
it's a brand new cable.
Now the master gives him a woman.
It needs to be special.
And he marries a woman, and he has kids with this lady, right? He has a wife and kids now. If he leaves, he doesn't get the wife and kids. He stays with the master.
So that's why.
So he's asking, isn't that enough of a reason for the guy to want to stay?
For the wife and kids, it depends on the wife and kids.
That's what he's saying.
It depends if you like them. I don't know.
Oh, it's a good point.
All right, let's see. Let's go. Come on.
Everything
He says, listen, I got married, I have kids now. If I leave, I don't get nothing.
That's why.
I want to stay here with my wife.
What the right cable is.
Really, it's not the right cable, but it's the same cord.
It's a specific
really
audio.
Can we get it in Israel? All right. So look, so this all works. Come on, boys, let's keep going. This all works only if he does it after he leaves after 6 years. But if he does, because when he doesn't want to leave, boys, you're with me or no?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Good. But if he doesn't leave after 6 years, right? All of a sudden, his kavanah was revealed that he was never makpid on anything the Pesukim said. Pesukim says avadim avadayim, which means I don't want to be a slave. I want to steal because the way you learn that only you're not allowed to steal in order to pay back tomorrow is only an asmach and a gemara. So it's better to do that than to go be a slave because really you can't be a slave of a slave. I'm a slave of God.
It's like the guys in the
and I need to have my time. My time's my time.
No, it's like the guys in the streets who like some guys don't want to be in jail, and some guys are like, something. It's
they like it. Some
same
not
person, same kind of person.
Yeah. So then the original question comes back. Why didn't he sell himself from the beginning? And he has nothing else to say about Aniyut. There's more than 50 people because you see when he stole, he's also reliant on other people, so it doesn't make sense either. You want to say that if the guy was freed after 6 years and the guy goes back home, fine. He was toying his sevara, makes sense. But if the guy does not, that's showing that he doesn't care, right? He doesn't care about what the Pesukim say. Okay, now the fact that he doesn't care about what the Pesukim say, and he's not makpid also, the fact that his money is reliant on other people giving him, then his question, the original question comes back. Why didn't he sell himself as a slave in the first place when he needed the money? And why did he choose to steal? The original thing was saying he didn't want to be a slave because really it's Genai and Hashem doesn't want you to be a slave because the Pasuk says, Avadim Avadai Li, him, right? They are mine. But now that we see that the guy that doesn't care and wants to stay, he'll stay being a slave, he don't care. It's showing that he doesn't care about the Pesukim. Right? And you can't say that he cares about that Aniyut is more or less than 50 makot. Listen up, boys. Why?
For him it's not.
Huh?
For him it's not.
That's the point. We're trying to say why are you waiting 6 years?
He chose the quote unquote good life, being a slave.
Sheganav hayta kavanato lera'ah. So what is the kavanah showing? That his intention was to steal, just to steal. Not because I had no choice, I don't want to be a slave because the Pesukim say I shouldn't be a slave because I'm a slave of God. That's not why. Okay, don't sketch. That's fake. Okay?
If it was true,
you would have left. And that's why we wait up to 6 years.
How come the Zera
you don't know?
doesn't say that now, he has a wife and kids and he loves them?
What?
How come the Zera Shimshon doesn't bring the pshat?
He's going to explain it now. I'm going to try to rush because I don't want to go too late, but I'm going to rush. Why Dafka the ear? What does the Rashi say? The ear that heard at Har Sinai, don't steal, right? Gets hit in the ear. So what about Shabbat? If I'm over on Shabbat, the ear that heard Shabbat and I didn't do Shabbat, I should also get hit. We should have a million holes right now. Why? Why only Lo
I don't
Tignov?
have 6 years to
I think the Zohar says because the Yovel.
You don't have 6 years.
I don't have 6 years to be reminded every day.
But don't forget, the reason why she's saying why the ear was because he heard it and he chose to ignore it.
Still, it's at the end of the
I think the
6
Zohar
years.
says.
But the end of 6 years is because he wants to stay a slave. That's a separate reason why the ear. The ear specifically because that's what the Divrei Torah went in, the commandments went in through the ear. You heard it, it registered. You know, the Arizal says, why do you see these Jews? It's crazy. You said the Holocaust, right? I remember a story where they, on these guys, they, on Yom Kippur, they had a bunch of people cleaning a hall, okay, a Nazi hall, scrubbing. And on Yom Kippur, what do? They come and bring in fresh hazir. And they said, eat. And the guys that were there said, even the non-Jews that would eat pork and cheeseburgers would always eat, they said they're not eating it. If anyone gets to decide who eats non-kosher, it's me. It's not them.
It's not the Nazis.
It's not the Nazis.
It was,
Why?
It was the Russian camps.
So listen, what's the point?
Russian camps, they weren't killing Jews, but they couldn't stand the religion. So on Yom Kippur, they would give you a
spread.
A spread with the pig with the apple in the mouth.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the Arizal says, why do we have that desire? Even people that are not Jewish and not related, not connected with the Torah, not religious, not connected to the Torah. Sorry, thank you. I'm sure that's obvious, but fine. That when it comes to desecrating God's name, they can't stand it, and they get up. Why? Because the Arizal says that they heard the Anochi Hashem. That's what was engraved. If they would have heard Zachor et Yom HaShabbat Kadeshur from God Himself, then people would die over Shemirat Shabbat, like they do the first 2 words of God that cleanse the whole bodies, a whole tikkun of those 2 specific words. That's what got saved. It's crazy.
The worst killing in the world, they do bris milah. It's incongruous with what they live.
Right. So look what it says. Okay, look. This is, by the way, I'm gonna bring in what everybody said. There's a Gemara Ketuvot. Taruna Banan, Braita. Leolam, a person should not allow his ears to hear Devarim Betelim. Even things that are Divrei Mutar, you shouldn't accustom yourself to listen to Devarim Betelim. Lefi Shehem Nichvot Tehila La'averim. They are the first of the limbs to get burned in Geinam. Why? They're the lightest. They're the smushiest. So that's the thing. What does that mean? The Mehasha comes and says, Shegam hadibur hamutar, dibur, regular dibur that's mutar, kegon devarim betirim she'enan srichin, that you don't really need to talk about, al yashmiya leoznav. You shouldn't listen to that either. Ela ledibur shel mitzvah. You should only be talking about devarim that have to do with Torah. That's what you should allow your ears to be accustomed to. Ma she'en ken bishar hushim. Right, with the other senses that you have, kegon, seeing, he says, this is meharsha. She'en adam muzhar, a person is not warned as much to be careful with his eyes as much regarding things that are mutar. Mutar, not things that you're not allowed to look at. No. Things that you are allowed to look at, you have no isur or no fence, a geder around seeing something that you are allowed to see, only something that you shouldn't listen. Even something that's mutar. Right? Because when you allow yourself to let the gates are open, you're listening to whatever comes in, and even it's all dibur that is mutar, eventually it's going to lead to dibur that's asur. Now, this is why they get burned first. Right? Why these first? Because the isur is found here more than here, and more than here, and more than here. You can close your eyes. You could not smell from your nose, and you can close your mouth. You can't close your ears. That's why you got I did that one time. I was in the car. My wife's talking on the phone. I don't know what. So I go like this with my ear. I'm not in the mood. I go like this. I'm like, oof. It's as if it's not even working. Like I still hear it. It was like a month ago, by the way. It wasn't that far ago. Okay, but why? But saying what? That the ears are the most vulnerable. The vulnerable. So you understand. So again, we want to understand why the ear. So in Baba Metzia it says, Rav says this is great. Whoever listens to their wife, nofel begehinom.
Can I record this?
You can, because the same Gemara has two things. It's recording already. The Gemara is also going to say, but now the Gemara on the spot says, what are you talking about? We also have a Braita that says, if your wife is short, you should bend down and listen to what she has to say.
Right.
So what's going on? Is it don't, if you listen to your wife, you go to hell? Or if your wife is short, you should listen. It's being showing how much you have to listen to her. Right. Even if she is short, you should trouble yourself to go down and listen. So which one is it? You should.
If she's tall.
Then jump. Get a chair. Then get a chair.
One says that you must listen, and the other one says you
do
must
not. No, one says whoever listens, go to Gainam. The other one says if she's short, you should bend down to show the importance of listening to your wife.
Right.
So then what is the answer? Right. So the answer is La Kashya, Ha b'miled de alma, Ha b'miled de beta. One is talking about the matters of the world, and one is talking about the matters of the house. Okay? And there's another Ikedamra that says matters of Olam Haba, you don't listen to her, but matters of Olam Hazeh, you do listen to her. She knows more about the kids than you do. She has a good intuition, better intuition than we do. Right? So when my wife says, I don't like this person, I always get annoyed because I know it's not going to end well. You know what I mean? I mean, like, I'm already involved in the guy and I'm doing business with him and she said she doesn't like him. Like, now, I know it's going to end up being a problem. And she's literally right 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10.
Bini Yasera.
Huh?
They have Bini Yasera.
They have a certain bina that they're able to intellect that they can understand. So that's what the Gemara says. V'kasher, though, we have the Zera Shimshon has a question on this Gemara. Ma lashon nofel bageinam. Why does it say that he falls to Geinam? It should say Yoresh.
Right.
Like Pirkei Avot it says Besofo Yoresh to Geinam. What does Yoresh mean? Acquire? No, or inherits. He inherits Geinam. Why did the Gemara choose the word? Why did the Gemara choose the word nofel? Fall.
What's the difference?
It's a difference. Fall is shogeg. Yoresh, you acquired it.
But
it's different.
Also for Yerusha, when you talk about Ele Nochalim, Velo Nochalim, Nofel Bechalko is like a lottery. I'm just saying, it is connected.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm not leaving, I'm just standing up.
It's okay. So look what the Maharsha says. The Maharsha says, it seems that the Maharsha is saying that what we wrote in Avot, Ve'al tarbeh siha im ha'isha, one of my favorite Mishnayot, says don't talk so much to women. We all know that part by heart. But Beishto Amru, that part we don't get.
Yeah, you know, there's one big, very successful billionaire who brings his wife to every single business meeting where he's making a decision to go with this person, and he takes them out for a meal, and she's always at the meal, and she's the final say.
Okay, that's Bina Yitera.
And
That's
he's
different.
always successful.
But it's talking about Al Tarbeh Simha Yisha one-on-one. I mean, you can't talk to your wife too much without getting to an argument. I can't. 15 minutes is my limit. I don't know. I'm not joking. You could ask her. Even with my daughters.
Pretty good 15 minutes.
What?
It's pretty
good, right?
I'm more than 10 seconds. Sorry.
How much time can you listen to?
What could you say?
Good.
No, there's only so much you could say. I don't have that many. Whatever. I want to continue the dialogue. I just don't have anything to say.
They want to talk.
They nine forms of form. They got 9.
Listen. That's the
So look. So it says, "Al tibei sihay ma'isha ve'ishto amru dehainu afilu b'deverim hamutarim asul le'arbot simcha." What is it? Which one?
We wished her happy birthday.
Mine is on Instagram. Hey,
She was on it.
They want to
so look. Listen. It says,
got the Energizer bit, buddy, with the extra battery in the thing here. That they want to talk.
So look what it says.
Talk.
Listen to what. Remember, we want to understand what's the difference between Pirkei Avot and why the Gemara said no fail, you're going to fall. So it says, listen, guys, come on. I'll wrap up soon. Al tabeh sihay ma'isha is talking about this, specifically his wife. Afilu devarim hamutarim asur leharbot sicha. Even things that are mutar, it's asur to talk, keep talking with her. Ve'im ken av lishmo atzat ishto b'miled debeta sarich lema'et. So he's saying the Maharsha or the Zera Shimshon is saying that even listening to the wife's advice, you should lima'et it. You shouldn't extend it for 20 minutes. Like, get to what she wants to say. Take her advice, but you don't just say it in a few words and say what it is. Say yes or no. You like the guy? You don't like the guy? You want me to go here? Where are we going for Shabbat? Just tell me quick. Because if you go too long, it's a problem. Why is it a problem? Because from divarim that are mutar, comes the asur, which means what? Even though it's not devar asur, im kol zeh yesh lahush. You have to be respectful. Pen lest mina mutar yavo al isur. Umishumachi aman nofel. This is what he means with nofel. Why does the Gemara say nofel? Because he's nofel beisur that he didn't feel it happening. He wasn't careful not to talk too much with the wife, which in turn ended up going into isur, and now he fell into Geinam. That's what he said. It's like It's like you don't know. You went too longer.
Slippery slope. Slippery slope.
And some of the mefarshim, by the way, explain the reason that the Torah were matir shivha kerani to an eved. Why is it? Well, we talked about this before. Why is if you acquire an eved divri, you're allowed to give him a shivha kenanit.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
And the kinder belong to you.
But when are you allowed to? Only when the guy is already married.
The guy
can't. Yes.
So
yes. The guy can't be single. The Gemara says why also because we don't want the guy to just get into trouble just so he can get married to some NKG and he could be with a non-Jewish girl. So the guy's got to be married. Why marry? Why is it a problem?
Who has to be married?
The guy you want to do Eved Ivri that's worked for you for 6 years and stole for you and he doesn't have the money. He's got to be a married man.
Otherwise, he can't be sold.
Cannot be. No.
So what happens to?
I don't know. Stay tuned to Revi. I don't know.
Wait, so that Jewish that you said that he loves this woman and the kids doesn't stand now because really he has a wife.
Another family.
He's saying he has a wife.
He has to have a wife first. And what is it? But look at this hidush.
Could he refuse to be married during his abdul?
No, he's an Eved. He cannot be. He cannot refuse. Yeah, he'll get lashes if he doesn't.
Wants the kids.
Yeah. Well, you don't do the time if you can't. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. The guy obviously did it because remember, we also went to why Davka after 6 years because we want to know if his kavanah was good or not. This guy, why the ozin? Because we talked about that the ozin that you have to be careful what you listen to because even devarim mutarim will lead you to devarim asurim. And why does the guy have to Davka be married? Because what did he steal in the first place?
Jewelry
for the wife. Where, by the way, I'm sure most of you could live, myself including, with a whole lot less than what we have. But the wives want what they want. What do we work for them. We do. My wife told me what she goes. Why can't we have this? Well, I go because you married a deadbeat dad. I told her. What do you want to tell you? I can't do it.
Did it what?
She left a minute.
Exactly like that. It's a miracle. Where comes Baruch Hu? Like, where did this money come from?
Always.
I need a new kitchen. I need this. I gotta get the shelf.
So my wife said she wants something. So I said, okay, let's see. And I'm thinking in my head, I want to see how she's going to pull this one off.
Right.
Because I don't have the money for it.
But it comes
it happens. They happen. Why? But I'm saying, I want to see how she pulls this one off. Like, if we don't have it, where's she going to get this from? Like, how's she going to go?
It doesn't happen that
what?
That's why he's choosing to become a slave.
He's not choosing. He became a slave because he listened to his wife too much to buy. He was always a slave. Mistama halak lignov b'shvil ishto. He went to go steal for his wife.
He didn't say shalas ani yoved.
Listen, come on, give me 10 more minutes, boys. 10 more minutes.
Take your time, we're just warming up. What?
So listen. The whole reason, you understand, he stole for her.
Yeah.
So therefore he has to be married. Why? Because what is he? That's why social media is poison. Social media is poison because everybody sees the pictures, everybody's smiling. I'm going to tell you something. Every picture that I myself is in, that I'm smiling with my family, I was yelling before, I don't want to take the picture. I actually took a video tonight of their saying, trying to rearrange how we're going to take the picture, this and that. And as they all do it, I put my phone on record. So we have the thing. Okay, no, don't touch me, don't touch me.
That's what you said.
And then I probably no.
You said that to your family.
I did. I said it. Right, it's a good one. And then after everybody's perfect. Do me a favor. You want to take a picture? Take a real life picture. You understand? That's got to be a man. That's real. That's who we are.
That's why I love the only painting, the photograph of the Stifler. He looks like he's going to give you a frost. Look at the picture of the
Seems like a
slave
pot,
owner.
sure.
I would be afraid to go in there and ask him any question, Rebbe. Can I ask you? He looks at that picture like, I'm going to be afraid.
Warm up with the Mona Lisa.
No, the Lubavitcher Rebbe's always smiling.
But you understand the point. The point is that the ear that you allow it to think, you let it go, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, the en isha, like it says in the Gemara Megillah, en isha mitkanet ela beyerech haverta.
Telling you why the ear gets hit.
That's why the ear gets
Not
hit.
because he heard Allah Hashem
That's no. He's saying no. Why?
Listen to your wife.
Because you stole. Lo tignov.
No,
why you too much?
That's why then he did
you
it.
listen to your wives. You listen to me carefully. You listen to your wife. You do not. How much is the question? How much? The Gemara in Pesachim says, well, 3 people. What if 3 people are considered dead? One of them, one of them is the guy that's owned by his wife. His wife makes all the decisions. That's what it is. Mommy bones. Don't get in trouble. Bishbil sheshama harbe yoter midai. בשביל ששמע הרבה יותר מדי לעצת אשתו ומן המותר בא לידי איסור וכן ירצה באוזנו. That's why he got hit in the ear. שהיה לו ללמוד, he should have learned משם להתרחק מן המותר. He should have learned what it says in Pirkei Avot. How many people go in debt to own a house? They want, right? Just to make her happy. Okay, because why? Because she wants. Why does she want it? Because a friend has it.
What, to buy a house?
This house. They want what they want. So they want what they want. So because he should have been known to not talk so much to the wife, to hear how much she wants things, which ends up going out and now causing him to do this. That's why the ear that got him in trouble in the first place. That's why that's why the orzen that heard lo tignov is the one that you should have listened to. Cover your ear closer and talk to your wife less, not too much. Because now, if you hear too much, now you're going to do something that's from mutar. It's going to be asur.
This is his chidush.
Yes.
So he's going into avdut because the life of not being married is easier than married life.
No, you are a slave the day you got married.
Right.
The day you proposed, really.
Right.
The day you proposed.
Why does he want to stay with the new wife?
And he had to bring 2 friends.
This
to
guy.
stay.
Because here he doesn't have to go steal anymore. He doesn't have to steal anymore. Now he's a good boy. He's working.
But it's not the right thing. All right, you guys want to give me 5 more minutes? There's another inyan about the mezuzah. You sure?
We'll do a new session on this.
Take your time. We just warmed up.
Keep saying that.
He's right.
I know. But
This is the whole fun of the week.
I finally got to the most comfortable chair in the place.
What?
I finally got to the most comfortable chair. Let's go.
Look, there's a Gemara in Kiddushin. I love you. There's a Gemara in Kiddushin that Rabbi Shimon's Doresh.
Wait, a gun.
Why specifically?
We're going live here?
Yeah. Why is it?
Now it's a new Jew.
Sorry, I just got to get it
No,
ready.
it's in Gmail. It's in Gmail.
Just give it a second. Give it a second.
Guys, the more cholent. What's on the table? Guys, take extras.
Who made that cholent?
It's a good cholent.
I'm going to tell you something. Whoever made that cholent is a tzedekis.
It's his wife.
No, I might have been Prohibition Pickle. No.
I'm going to tell you something.
It's too good.
Really, I never ate a cholent that was so light and fluffy.
Kai made it.
It was very good.
Did he really?
Maybe.
I'm gonna tell him he's a tzaddikus.
No, I'm going to tell you something. The cholent.
He's your father-in-law?
I made it. I'll tell him he's a tzaddikus.
It's so.
He's your father-in-law?
Brother-in-law.
Oh.
It was very light and fluffy, which was wonderful.
Yeah.
I couldn't. No, really, I couldn't believe it. I didn't say anything because we
He
were
said you
learning.
can order from Prohibition. Effeminate, light,
That's the
fluffy
Prohibition.
cholent.
He makes good stuff. That
Yeah, he does. He's very good.
He used to have dishes when he had the store.
Yeah, I like the canoe. You know?
Yeah.
Knish is always good. It's fried potato. What's so hard? What's not that?
Most American breakfast.
But this is crazy. I'm going to give you guys a crazy hadush right now.
Okay.
Zera Shimshon is going to give you something crazy.
All right.
Something crazy.
I'm going to go a bit nearer just with the mic issues, sorry.
Really? It's so close.
Yeah, but it's a problem
This
now.
is way better than
But
Yeah.
what's better than what?
just the sound.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's gonna
fine.
be way better right now.
All right, fine. All right, there's a Gemara in Kiddushin, okay, Kapet Amud Bet, that says that Rabbi Shimon is Doresh, and he says, why do we do, what do we do? What we do by the Delit and the Mashkof, the Delit and the Mezuzah, right? Right. Why, what's so special with the Delit, the door and the Mezuzah, the table, all the other kelim that are in the house?
And we
Why?
put the hole by the mezuzah.
Yeah, why? Why?
The mashkof of the dam.
Listen what he says. He says,
I don't know.
the door and the mezuzah, Hakadosh Baruch Hu says, the door and the mezuzah that were my witnesses in Mitzrayim, that when I jump from house to house, say, oh, this guy's Yehud, this guy's not, shechtem. Right? Ve'amarti, and I said, Ki li b'nei said avadim, they're mine.
That's right.
Right? Therefore, that's why. But now here's the question. You don't really see that in the Pesukim anywhere that Hashem did that. It doesn't say, you don't see that anywhere in the Pesukim that Hashem said that in the Pesukim. That as he's being doleg and being poseach on house to house.
It was automatic. When he saved us.
Oh, because
he's being doresh.
Yeah. When he saved us, he made us, we are.
Yeah, but that's often automatic. If he said put the dam on, so
it's automatic.
It's automatic.
Look, it says, Makshim alav, hechan matzinu. Where do we see she'amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu beoto pam shenatnu min adam al mashkof, right? Ki li b'nei sel avadim. Ve'od ma inyan edut lekan. What is this whole edut situation? What is this testimony that has to do with the Eved now?
Yeah.
Okay. So look, it's the Gemarani Yevamot.
No, because that's where they punch him. They put him on the mashkov. They give him they put his ear on the delik. They
put him on the mezuzah.
It's not on the door. It's on the lintel. Where you put the mezuzah.
That's where they put his ear.
This is not working.
The door.
Not the door. It's in the mishkov.
Right.
We put it there, and you put the hole.
All right, so listen. He says mashkov, no mezuzah, but you put a mezuzah on the door. You don't put it on the wall.
On the door, on the lintel.
Mashkov, the length of the door. All right, look, 2 minutes.
No,
Legit
you
2 minutes.
Put them on the top.
Listen, let me say this. The Gemarani Yevamot says that when you tovel an Eved, Shemuel says that you have to put your hand, you have to like shove him under the water.
Like a cop taking him into a car.
Wait, tovel.
Like, yes.
Tovel oto lema.
When you became an Eved, you have to be tovel him. Yeah, you have to tovel.
You dunk the
כשממטביל את העבד, אמר שמואל צריך לתוקפו במים. כלומר, why?
Why do you dunk him?
צריך להטיל עליו עול ושעבוד בעודו במים, כדי שיטבול עצמו לשם עבדות, ולא יקדים את עצמו לבטול לשם בן חורין.
So weird.
Because
but it's so weird. A mikvah, you go down, mikvah always goes up.
But
you become a gift.
It's about transferring ownership. We're getting transferred. To show that I'm transferring this person, gets transferred on me.
He does it in the mikveh.
Because why?
Why down in the mikveh?
Because if not,
mikveh you always go up.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Because if not, the guy's going to have the kavanah of I'm going to dip and I'm going to be ben harin. And no matter what this guy says, I'm going to be free.
He's already been harin.
No, this Eved here.
Oh, this is the 6 years? What is this?
I'm not sure. What's the article say? What's the article say about the Yevamot? What says when you dip an Eved? What type of Eved are we talking? It's the end of Gimel.
That's a chiddush. The guy goes in the mikvah.
Can't be an Eved everywhere.
No,
It has to be an Eved.
Kanani. Yeah, but I want to confirm it. Confirm it.
It has to be Eved because he's going up a level.
Right.
By working for the Jew.
But he's
saying the mikvah only goes up.
He's becoming an isha.
There's no going down in the mikvah.
You're missing the point.
No, but this is the point. This is the point. The mikvah, you don't go down in the mikvah. You only go up.
You're limiting how high you can go. By putting your hand, listen to the answer. To limit how high you can go, because I'm agreeing with you. What's how high you could go? Because he could dip with the intention of I'm dipping so I will be considered a free man. But now completely free. Now that the master is putting his head under the water, it's showing I'm dipping you for my purposes, not for yours. That's the thing. Because if he dips on his own, it's going to be as if he's dipping on his own. I'm Ben Horim.
Eved Knani, when he becomes to work for a Jew, he has to go to the mikvah.
I don't know which Eved. I need confirmation.
I just learned it in Rambam.
Today.
So say, by the way,
You learned it today.
Same thing with Mitzrayim. So look, same thing with Mitzrayim. When Bnei Israel were acquiring themselves to be free, right? Which was by Bakat Bechorot, because the Mitzrayim are screaming, "Kumu Seu, go get out of here." Right? Like the Hachamim write in Berachot, Behipazon B'Mitzrayim. Hakadosh Baruch Hu had to acquire the ownership, right, in haste. Why? In order to show that the ownership is getting transferred, that Bnei Israel will not be free on their own. They're transferring ownership from Mitzrayim to me, to Hashem. Right. So that's the understand Behipazon quickly. Why? Like, by the way, Hacham Shalem Morenu Rabbi Ephraim HaKohen. Which does it say in article who that is? Because he prayed Yeminecha Adonai Nedari B'Koach, Yeminecha Adonai Tiras Oyev. right? That what is it? When Hashem was dunking down the Mitzrayim, Hashem was elevating Bnei Yisrael to show that the old masters are out, but I'm your new master and I'm lifting you in.
Non-Jewish slave.
You're right.
Huh?
Non-Jewish slave.
Non-Jewish slave, Kirani. Now keep reading. Who's Ephraim HaKohen? You understand? Ro'etzet ha'oyev, well, he was taking his right hand, and you know, Ro'etzet ha'oyev, bayam, ha'ita, nederet b'koach, he was lifting with strength to bring up Bnei Yisrael to be his slaves. You understand? Otherwise, Bnei Yisrael will be free on their own. And that's not the goal. We cannot be free. Ad kan devarav. Utkatan tad reshuto. So umashe, and what they were afraid of, right? That everybody was afraid to leave their house. Who was everyone? So during Makat Bechorot, they were free. They would have been free.
Rabbi Zera Shimshon's teacher.
Yeah, I know, but who?
Rabbi Ephraim ben Eliyahu HaKohen. Katz.
Katz.
So it says.
Look at that.
Half the people in the front. Go ahead.
Katz is coinciding.
Go ahead. Yeah. So look. So what's the Bnei said during me when Makat Bechorot? We're finished here. We're finished. When Makat Bechorot finished, when Makat Bechorot happened, when Makat it's blood pressure. When Makat Bechorot happened, all the Mitzrayim said, "Kumu seu, go leave," which means they're free. The Delet, the Mezuzah, were the witnesses to show that Bnei Yisrael were afraid to leave their house, which showing that they're not free.
Yeah.
You understand?
Avdei Hashem now.
Because and it gave the time to Hashem to make Hashem. Yes, during Yam Suf when
just wait.
The next thing.
He's showing that they were afraid to leave their house because they were afraid that if they leave, they're going to die. The Abbabayit, and even in the house, they had the sakana if they didn't have the siman of the blood on the dama mashkov and the mezuzah. So what do you see? That the mashkov and the mezuzah were the edim to show that Bnei Yisrael were afraid to leave from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And if so, Bnei Yisrael not considered free. They're not considered free. But they're subjugated under God. You know, because why? The original owners let them go. Kumu seu, go leave. Kish, go. I don't want you.
Harold in pajama.
Right, in pajamas, right. But at the same time, Bnei Yisrael was still afraid to leave their houses, and it shows that they were afraid of God. And who are the two concepts, right? The things was Mashkov and Mezuzah that was able to prove it, right? כדי שתתקיים כי לי בני ישראל עבדים, ואם כן שפיד כמה דלת ומזוזה שהיו עדים במצרים. This way it makes sense to say that the delet and the mezuzah that were my witnesses in Mitzrayim, right, will be the ones to say, you want to be, you're supposed to be my slave, and you decide to be a slave of Basar Vadam. Therefore, you have to do the ozen that got you into trouble in the first place, and by my two edim, which is the mezuzah and the mashkov. Baruch Adonai Le'olam Amen Amen.
Hazak Baruch.
Well done. יש מניין?
רבי חניה בקשה אומר, עשה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות ישראל לפיך לבן תורה עצמו שלמד. אדוני חפש למען סגור ידיד תורה ועדין.
No, on Israel.
Who wants to say?
Anybody can say Kaddish?
I'll find it.
Anybody not pray out beat yet?
Oh, yes.
I didn't.
Anybody else?